Okay, one more person. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So let's start. So this is today's chapter. We are going to see engaging with the form and content. So, art communicates visual ideas, as you know. So just as speaking and writing communicate verbal ideas. In order for viewers to engage with art, we must interpret the visual language of the artist. So we use a combination of various methods such as description, analysis, and critic to understand the appearance and meaning or content of a work. We can also apply our own viewpoints or critic. So today we are going to see the interpretive method that are most frequently used and are most effective when you see a work of art. All right, so we learned the visual elements and principles of design in the previous chapters. So artists have many tools at their disposal, which we call the visual elements and principles of design. Visual elements include line, shape and mass, light, color, texture and pattern, space, time and motion. And also artists use the principles such as unity and variety, balance, emphasis, subordination, scale, proportion, and rhythm to organize the visual elements. So a work of art is therefore a product of the dynamic interrelationships between the various art elements and principles. Good morning. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Professor Lee.
We just started. So, so today we're gonna learn 4 types of analysis when you see the work of art. So this is a formal analysis. This is a method to analogize work of art based on these, visual elements and principles of design. So, to process of analyzing the elements and principles used by the artist is called formal analysis. To analyze a work of art fully and formally, one describes in specific detail how each element and principle is utilized within it. So let me show you an example for the formal analysis. So this is Edward Hopper's painting on Nighthawks. It conveys a sense of absence and loneliness. When making a formal analysis of a two-dimensional work, such as this painting, useful aspects you can consider are the locations of objects and the colors used and the relationships between the parts of the composition. So in front of this building, the sidewalk wrapped around a curved diner on the street, corner, cutting up the group of people inside whom we see through the glass the outer walls. So the inside is brightly lit in contrast to the street outside. So this makes the room a particular area of emphasis in this picture. So it further draws our attention to the people, and together with the use of brilliant color in the yellow wall behind the counter, expose them clearly to us, showing how isolated they are. The stark contrast between the woman's red dress and the hair, the black suit, and the hats of the two guys make customers, and the white uniform of the waiter make the figures more distinct. So both within the scene and from one another. So
Excuse me, Professor.
Mhm.
Are you sharing your screen? Because I don't see what you're talking about.
Really?
I only see you.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. So this, can you see the painting now?
No, I still see you.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Is it just me?
Everyone, can you see the lecture slide?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Oh,
can
now we see it.
Yes.
See it now.
Oh,
Okay.
you
Yes.
can- so everyone can see it now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it. So so did you guys didn't see from the beginning, or
Yeah.
okay, okay. You didn't see everything from the beginning, right? Okay. So again, the formal analysis, so using is a analyzing method when you see the work of art by using these visual elements. So formal analysis is the process of analyzing the elements and principles used by the artist. And this, I just talked about this painting. Sorry about that. So by using formal analysis, we can analyze the work of art based on the visual elements and the principles of design without any knowledge of the background or history of the work. So like this, I just focused on the composition and colors and feeling from the work of art, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we can guess the work of arts. We can guess the story of the work of art based on the formal analysis as well. So the next analysis style is stylistic analysis. So we recognize a style in our own lives. The way we dress and arrange our hair reflects our personal style. Artworks also have a style or specific characteristic that make them look the way they do. Style allows us to recognize that an artwork was made by a particular artist, A group of artists might share a style because they all used similar techniques and worked at the same time or studied um, in the same place. The style can be individual or shared by a group, school, period, or movement. So analyzing style allows us to make connections between artworks. All right. So let's see these work of arts paintings. So can you find the similarity from these two paintings?
It's daytime.
Yeah, daytime. So you can see the very light lighting in these two paintings, right? Yes, very good. What else?
Background.
Can you say again?
The background.
The background, maybe the background, the texture, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's right. So these are Impressionist artist painting in 19th century. Impressionism is a 19th century art movement characterized by relatively small, thin, yet visible brush stroke like this. No. So both of painting has the brush strokes. And open composition, emphasis on accurate depiction of light. Yes. So they deals with the light in its changing qualities, often accentuating the effects of the passage of time, ordinary subject matter, inclusion of movement, a crucial element of human perception and experience, and unusual visual angles. So Impressionism originated with a group of Paris-based artists whose independent exhibitions brought them to prominence during the 1870s and 1880s. So like this Impressionists, many artists who sought to similar concepts and trends made a group and they shows similar styles. And the third analysis is iconography analysis. So iconography examines the visual images and symbols used in a work of art and leads to an interpretation of the work's meaning. So iconographic analysis identifies objects and figures in an artwork as signs or symbols that can reflect religious or historical context and the meaning of which was often more directly understood at a time by a specific culture, but many now be less apparent to us. So this is Impressionist artist Edward Manet's painting. Excuse me. A bar at the Folies Bergère in 1882. So the painting is rich in details which provide clues to social classes. The woman at the bar is a real person known as Susan, who worked at the bar in the early 1880s. So for his painting, Manet posed her in his studio. And by including a dish of oranges in the foreground, Manat identifies the barmaid as a prostitute according to art historian Letty L. Ligo, who says that Manat habitually associated oranges with prostitution in his paintings. So one of the hidden meaning is orange on the right side, right bottom. So that symbolizes prostitution in his painting. So
What was the symbol of prostitution?
yes, the oranges. No, for the Edward Manet. Yes.
The oranges was the symbol.
Yes, that's the symbol. So to read the symbol is iconographic analysis. Mhm.
Iconographic
Yes, iconographic
analysis.
analysis. That's right, Mike.
When you said that it's the visual images and symbols
That's right.
in
Yes.
the work of art, I
Mm.
thought it was going to be like when someone uses like letters or say like
Yeah.
Egyptian writings on the
Uh-huh.
wall or something like that. Would that be a form of iconography or iconographic imagery?
Yeah, so if there is any symbol or hidden meaning, then when you find the symbol and the hidden meaning, then it can be the iconographic analysis. Yes. Mhm.
Why did Edward Monet use the oranges as his symbol of prostitution?
No one knows why he picked the oranges to symbolize the prostitution. No one knows actually. So
Okay.
still, many of the critics, still arguing about the Manet's work because his work is kind of hard to read. So we just to figure out one symbols in his work of art because he habitually used oranges for that meaning. So actually he has lots of meanings, I guess, but no one knows actually. And the last analysis method is contextual analysis. So the content or meaning of a work of art varies gently between artworks. To understand the context of a work of art fully, okay, give me 1 sec. Okay. So to understand the context of a work of art fully, you will usually have to undertake some research in addition to looking very closely at the work of art itself. So there are two contextual analysis. So one is religious context, and the other one is historical context. So let's see one by one. So, so this is a middle-aged church. So let's analyze this church based on the religious context. So in Middle Age, about 1,000 years between 5th century to 14th century, Christianity art flourished in Western culture. So this is one of the famous architecture type in Middle Age, which is called Gothic style. So the Gothic style was steered by a powerful French abbot named Suger, who wanted to enlarge and remodel this church. The Abbey Church of Saint Denis near Paris. He came to believe that an ideal church should have certain characteristics, like it should appear to reach up to heaven like this. it should have harmonious proportions, and it should be filled with light. To fulfill those goals, his architects responded with pointed arches, and ribbed vaulting, um, and flying buttresses, and stained glass windows so large, um, so they seemed like translucent walls. So it is ornate, linear, vertical elements that direct eye upward, go to the heaven. So that is religious contextual analysis. And this is Honor Domier's Le Transnomian lithography work. So what can you see in this work of art?
Is he drunk?
I hope so. I hope so. I hope he's drunk, but he's not. You can just, guess what happening
There
here.
are more than one bodies laying on the floor,
Uh-huh.
and what seems to be blood on the carpet.
Very good. Yes, something treasury event happened in this work of art, right? Yes, yes, exactly. So this is a realism artist, the Honor Domier's lithography printing work of art. So he recorded a historically terrible event in this work. So major French cities, including Lyon and Paris, revolted. April 15, 1834, the Parisians stand barricades in the streets. And during the attack of one of the barricades by the army, Transnomian Street, an infantry captain was killed by a shot fired from a house. The next day, the soldiers will attack very hard rioters and will break down the doors of the building at number 12, Rue Transnomian, supposed to be the one of from which the party was shot. So all residents of the building, including old men, women, and children, were massacred. So a bloody event that will remain in history as the massacre of Transnomian Street, imaged by the painter and caricaturist Honor Domier. So as you can see, the textual analysis requires to research, to read the context in the work of art.
It says lithography. What is lithography?
Oh, we're gonna learn this lithography. So this is one of the technique of printing. Maybe we're gonna learn it 1 week later or 2 weeks later. Yeah. Maybe next week or after next week, we're gonna learn it.
Sure.
So it could be said that all interpretation involves a balance between fact and opinion. So analysis involves careful consideration and discussion of specific aspects of an artwork, while critic offers a theoretical framework for understanding it. So critics of artworks often highlight the ideas, opinions, experiences of the viewer. So this section's topic is kind of tricky, but this is a basic concept for the art appreciation. So I hope you could apply this analysis method when you see a piece of art. So today we have a discussion related to this chapter, which is very important for the midterm. So this is it. So you're gonna proceed a formal analysis for the one of these work. So this is option 1 painting, Jan van Eyck's painting, and this is option 2, and this is option 3. So choose one of the paintings here, and then you're gonna proceed formal analysis. So let's remind what the formal analysis is again. So I'm not sharing it, right? Okay, so formal analysis is to proceed to analyzing a work of art based on this visual elements and principles of design we learned so far. So like this visual elements, we learned the visual elements has line, shape and mass, light, color, texture and pattern, space, time and motion, right? And we learned 7 principles, no, 5 principles of design like this: unity and variety, balance, emphasis and subordination, scale and proportion, and the last one is rhythm and pattern. So based on these visual elements and the principles of design, you're going to proceed the formal analysis. So you can just find as much as you can. Maybe you can focus on the composition, or you can focus on the lines. Maybe this painting is using the 1 point, linear perspective, or you can, find the, the colors feature. This artist using the green and red, the complementary color to show the simultaneous contrast, right? Like that. Right. So what else we can find? And yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you can mention, the unity and variety. So maybe he's using the, very neated technique to make a, unity, but the artist used the different colors to show the varieties in this work of art. And also you can mention the, the asymmetrical balance here. So I guess, the dark form and the light form of the same size, right?
You can tell in that space that may be a bedroom, possibly. It looks like a bed behind her.
Yeah, it is a bedroom, yes. And also you can mention about the emphasis and subordination. So probably these 2 figures are the, emphasis part, and the whole background, the room, the bedroom is a subordination, right? And maybe in this emphasis, I guess this woman is the focal point, right? So that is formal analysis. So choose one of the artwork and then proceed the formal analysis. And this is very important because, I mentioned about the midterm in the very first day of the course. We're gonna we have a essay question in the midterm, and that is the formal analysis, with the visual elements and the principles of design. So you will see an artwork, and then you're going to proceed the formal analysis in the midterm. So this is a really good practice for the midterm. So just find as much as you can in a work of art. Okay.
Okay.
Any question, everyone?